character Jessica Yu and the infamous Jimmy Tsai or Sita. So many of you already know Jessica Yu from In the Room, The Unreal. But maybe you both can tell us just a little bit about yourself and how you got into filmmaking in general.
I know you guys probably all need a second to gather your emotions after this. I mean, just getting into film, I kind of fell into it. I mean, I think it's actually really interesting to hear how Jimmy ended up doing this role. I don't know if you guys know the backstory. I was going to give you a little introduction, but when I first met Jimmy, he was the production accountant for Cherry Sky Films, which has been his role up to very recently. And so that's how I knew him. And then when I saw he made these little like mock spots for, well, actually they were real commercials, but they featured this character.
VenomSportswear.com.
Okay, we'll talk about the success of that venture. I bought a shirt. I don't know. We probably knew all of us by name, but anyway, when I saw these spots and Jimmy was playing himself, I was just, I thought they were amazing and just so funny and great. And I didn't recognize him in the spots. It's like I knew Jimmy, and I was like, God, those are amazing. And I didn't realize that it was him in it. So then years later, when Cherry Sky Films had helped out with In the Realms of the Unreal, Joan Wong there, it was her idea to make a comedy about ping pong. They approached me about working with them, and I said, well, we should put that C-Dub character into this book. So that's how it started. But okay, so I'll start one thing and you can talk about that. So Jimmy and I start working on the treatment for this story, and we're working on it for like a month, and it's going really well. And I said something like, well, when we start shooting, I don't want you to have to worry about this or that because you'll be really busy. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I said, well, because you're in every scene. And he's like, me? He had no idea that, I mean, of course I'm thinking that he's the only one who can play Sita, but he was like, whoa, you better talk to Joan about that. So, that rare thing, a reluctant actor.
Well, just to, I guess, get back to your question on in terms of getting into film and stuff, like I actually started making short films in like middle school and high school and stuff like that. And I just like to entertain people, so that's my main impetus for getting into filmmaking.
Okay, great. And some of you might not know this, but he also is a Cal graduate, as I'm sure many of you are, and he majored in...
I started out as a film studies major, but I actually ended up majoring in business administration.
So you mentioned that there's like a ping pong story, and then your character, a basketball story. So just in the development of the script, how did you guys, how did they come together, and how did you guys write those lines?
Well, actually, most of I'd say the tone of the humor came out of the C-Dub character. We decided that's where we kind of wanted our reality to be. But basically, I think this, in terms of like the tone and structure, we took elements out of like the classic sports comedies we like Bad News Bears, and then like put in like the sort of kung fu son have to go and avenge the father's thing. So it's like some combination of those two elements, I'd say.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that yes, the C-Dub character was definitely, but we actually knew this would sort of be a perfect venue like ping pong for Jessica, because Jessica is also highly competitive. I don't know if you guys know this, but she's like a world-class fencer. So I was always afraid that I had to listen to everything she was going to say, and she was like.
It's very pliable.
So when you're directing the film, I mean, what's the key to, capturing that dynamic to make sure that it's actually funny, that the lines come out right and the timing is right, etc.?
Well, this is actually, I think it's good when you're working with a co-writer because, there's always that fear in comedy that you'll do something that's funny on the day, but then it has that you had to be there quality and no one else thinks it's funny. So, but I think, again, because I had seen the spot that Jimmy did originally, I remembered what I thought was funny about that and that I laughed about. So that was kind of a good anchor, I think, for the other things.
So are you really a wannabe NBA player in denial?
I had harbored those dreams at one point. I actually played on the middle school basketball team, just to let you know that. But still playing the kids, that's clearly acting. It's a little bit better than that. But yeah, no, I had those, in middle school I did actually believe that I could possibly make it into the NBA, and then reality set in.
Tell me clearly.
Oh yeah, so part of the impetus for the character is that one of the reasons that addresses a lot of these concerns about, doing something that you're good at is because like the impetus for the creation of the character was like, you know how in the NBA right now there are Asian athletes, right? But they're actually Asian. They're like actually from China. There has never been an NBA Asian American athlete. My theory is that this person actually existed at one point in time. The person who had the natural ability and the physique and everything to actually play in the NBA, but instead of nurturing his natural talent at basketball, his parents were too busy telling him to play piano, play violin, read the book, study for your SAT. And so instead of becoming the first Asian American basketball player in the NBA, he ended up like working as an accountant.
Very interesting theory. So, are you really good at ping pong, or is that all editing and camera tricks?
You know what? In this, I gotta say, in Jimmy's defense, well, whatever. When he started this thing, he was gonna this was gonna be his like Robert De Niro Raging Bull kind of thing. He was gonna ping pong like 6 hours a day and everything. But I do have to say that when we first went to the Pasadena Senior Center where the ping pong classes held, it is true. It's a world that is almost completely without the female gender. But so we get there, and there was this 80-year-old grandmother who, took Jimmy out the first day. I was pretty sore after that, but yeah, he got really good. Actually, the coach said that he had never seen anyone get that good that quick. So no CGI for Jimmy. We're gonna make a T-shirt,
I don't think you can. It's like cinematic blasphemy to mention me and Robert De Niro's movies.
You could take him out with ping pong.
So how much of it, when you were directing him and you're being directed by Jessica, how much of it was like improvisation, and how much of it was like actually planned?
Well, I'd say most of it actually was planned because we worked on the script together. But the funny thing is, like the kids, the kid who played Free Willy, Kevin, and he's hilarious. He would just be always doing something funny in the background, and just doing something with the snacks. And it's fun to see that because when it talks to kids, you kind of let them do what they're going to do.
Just naturally.
Yeah, like little Andrew. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
So where did you find those kids? Those kids are hilarious.
That was one scary thing actually when we were looking for kids, and we didn't have anybody really. I was like really close up to a couple of weeks before shooting, and then it's true that more Asians are getting into entertainment, but they still don't necessarily want their kids to get into acting, which is probably a healthy thing. But like the last week or whatever that we were doing casting, all 3 kids came in on one day. We were just great. Yeah, it was really lucky.